Well, today we have a lot to get to. This world is getting crazy. I'm still crazier, obviously, but it's getting there. It's really getting there. We have a lot to talk about. I can't wait to get into it, and I'll see you when I see you the next time. Well, wouldn't you know? What a crazy last few weeks it has been, and everyone's just trying to process everything, like try to understand what's going on with America. And I get to bring to you guys some more information that might make you mad. Let's hope it's like the good mad, like the righteous anger kind of stuff. But just lots of sneakiness, lots of annoying people. Oh, I could list so many annoying people right now. It would be so much fun to list annoying people. But I will hold back here. But I was debating whether or not to start off this episode with like a banger or anything, and then I was like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. Why not? Just something very interesting. First off, today we do need to discuss Operation Arctic Frost. Some of you may have heard of this. What's going on? It was an FBI investigation. This was initiated in April of 2022, and it was said to just be about Trump's attempt to overturn the 2020 election. Saying it was fraud and then trying to, get it to go his way. Well, turns out there's people included on this list, not just Trump, who you would think, he needs to be the guy. I mean, if you're going to investigate him trying to overturn the 2020 election, you don't need many more people on there. Well, not just Trump is on there, but many Republican-linked even like entities, so like groups of people. This includes Turning Point USA, which is fishy. I'll get to that in just a second. The probe, which was revealed by Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley. I think it's Grassley. I'm bad with names. I really am. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me. He criticized the probe for having been politically motivated. It was described by him as a vehicle used by partisan FBI agents and DOJ prosecutors, and to target basically various Republican entities, people, individuals, whatever it may be. So the initial focus was supposed to be Trump, and now it's more than Trump. That should already be raising your suspicions. And like I said, Turning Point USA. Why is Turning Point USA on there? Right? If this probe is all about the whole Trump and 2020 election thing, then Trump should be on there. Trump should be the focus because he was the one attempting to overturn the election. Well, now you have Turning Point USA. Why is Turning Point USA on this list? Something suspicious, something to keep in mind, something I would highly suggest being continued to be looked into. And it was under the Biden administration. So I don't know, that's a little suspicious to me. And this is just one of those things. Sometimes it's like I'm supposed to trust my government. How do I do this? Listen, there's some people you can trust, and there's some people it's like, yeah, there's no way you can trust this person. They've never done anything that would garner your trust at all. And one of those things is this. They do something at a time, and then it's revealed later there's a lot more to it than we knew. Well, now we the people have to go in there and we have to find out, well, what do we think about this? And the fact that not only Trump, but many other entities, even Turning Point USA, are on this list says a lot more than just, a little probe into the 2020 election whole scandal. So I think it's absurd that, I think it should not be left alone for sure. And I think it definitely needs looked into much more than it has been. I will be waiting for news on this, as you should too. I'll try to get that to you guys as fast as possible. But I think we're going to find some interesting stuff. It's weird that this is not being spread around, made big, but something interesting. So if you guys want to hear my opinion on this, basically, I'm just wondering if this is almost a hit list, which it seems. I know that sounds really far-fetched, but so many things that are far-fetched have happened recently that nothing feels far-fetched anymore. But if it were a hit list, that would be interesting. Interesting to see. Interesting to see who was forming the hit list, who wanted these people out of the big picture. So that would be interesting to see. Now, if it's not a hit list, something else that comes to mind can always be people that need canceling, right? So a list of people that need canceling, so not exactly killed, but definitely quieted. And now that often be the ultimate way to silence is often violence. So, that's that. But keep your eyes on Arctic frost. We're going to see how this develops over the next few weeks. Obviously, it's a little scary, annoying that we didn't know about, what this was all about, but it's okay because now we do, and now we can kind of figure out how we feel about it, going forward. Remember, I've said this a million times, America's the country of the people, and we need to go out there and figure it out. This is scary, and I kind of do not want to see this, well, here's the negative side, right? If we find out, this is much more than it first appeared to be, then obviously there's that fear that the government has been doing this under our nose the whole time. If not, then the positive side here is that we can find these people, figure out what was going on. Should it be revealed to be more? We need motives. We need names. We need people who are creating these lists. So that's what we're looking for right now. But yeah, it's interesting that this is happening right now, that we would find something with Turning Point USA on it right after Charlie Kirk's assassination. So we'll be keeping an eye on this, trying to see where it goes. I for sure will be living in the news. I have been for a long time, but yeah, I'll be trying to get my own opinions and try to figure out what's going on with Arctic frost. So that's that. Let's move on to a little different bit of a subject here. AOC, the beloved. I mean, okay. This lady is so confusing to me sometimes. Because how is she even in politics? How? I think she has some brains, okay? I think she's she has brains. She can think. She's smart. But she doesn't use them in the greatest ways. I don't know. I guess hashtag love you two bartenders. I mean, I don't know really, but now she's in politics. The vote in the House of Representatives for Charlie Kirk had a day to remember him, which will be on his birthday. Obviously, if I were there, I would be voting a big fat yes. But since I'm not, that never happened, and instead we get, I believe it was 58 Democrats that voted no. I don't want to say, they're all Democrats, but it's highly possible. They voted no on this day of remembrance, which is absurd. There's no reason to vote no on that. That's a really nice thing, because this man was just killed, and he had a family, and he stood for free speech. He was silenced for free speech. He was silenced for his thoughts. This dude was an advocate of going out, having dialogue, understanding everyone. And now he's gone. Well, he was an icon of America, and yet you don't want a day to celebrate him. Why is it an issue if we have a day to celebrate him? Genuinely. Think about that for just a little bit. But today, I don't know when you're watching this. Today's September 19th. So, she voted no on the House resolution to honor Charlie Kirk. Now, she did condemn his murder. She said there is a need to stabilize a volatile political environment and denounce political violence. This is all great stuff. We're all very happy that she would say this. However, she did criticize the resolution introduced by Republicans as partisan and divisive, arguing that it whitewashed Kirk's controversial and harmful rhetoric. What on earth? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Everything has to be so politicized. Everything is there to make a 3-point. That's what she is trying to shoot 3-pointers. She can barely make a layup. What? Are you kidding me? For crying out loud. Okay? Charlie Kirk did so many good things for the country. And now you're going to vote no because it whitewashes his controversial and harmful rhetoric. He never once had harmful rhetoric. The only reason it was controversial is because you don't like the truth, and he said a lot of the truth. Like, in case you haven't noticed where AOC stands on things, she's not like a paragon of truth. Charlie Kirk, on the other hand, really hit the nail on the head a lot. So, obviously, she's not going to lie. Of course, she's going to say he was controversial and harmful. He was not harmful. Free speech. Free speech. Our First Amendment is great. Now, was his rhetoric ever harmful to anybody? Right? So say you're asking me this, and I'm going to say no. All right? I mean, I assume he misgendered people, and a guy wanted to be called a girl, and he called him he. Now, you can be really mad about that, or you can be like, wow, he knows what gender you are, and you don't even know what gender you are. So, is that harmful rhetoric? Not at all. I mean, he's just speaking the truth. Okay, here's one thing. I want to get straight, right, before I keep going, because this is insane. And I wasn't planning on this, but now I just gotta say it, because, like, I cannot. We gotta park for just a second, guys. I'm going totally off the deep end, but literally, guys, pronouns, okay? At this point, I'm sorry, but no one really cares. You get offended super easily. And listen, when you are born, and Charlie Kirk knew this, that's why he made so many statements that he did. Charlie Kirk knew that when you are born, there are physical signs that will scientifically tell you what gender you are. And there are only two genders. I beg you to find a human baby born that does not have the characteristics of one of the two genders, okay? If there's a third gender out there, please tell me I'm missing something. Like, genuinely, when they come out of the womb, they're either a boy or girl. That's just how it is. Now, they can go and attempt to change themselves in the future. Never works out really well. You usually get really depressed. And it's often kind of like a mental issue. And here's what I'm trying to explain. Because I don't care if you're part of the LGBTQ society. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Here's the thing. I may get hated for saying that there are only two genders. But here's the fact. If I'm getting hated by the people that don't like the truth, then I must be speaking the truth. And I'm not scared of speaking the truth. Here's the deal. When you're born, there are two genders. You are not assigned gender. You are given because scientifically it is proven that you are that gender. Okay? If you are a boy and when you hit 14 years old, you think that you are actually a girl, scientifically you need to prove to someone that you are a girl. Not just in your thoughts, but physically prove that you are a girl. Nobody gets born being trapped in the wrong gender's body. You're a boy or you're a girl. And here's the thing. We don't encourage the continuation of any mental issues, right? If someone's a psychopath, if they're a sociopath, if they have autism, or anything. I mean, the slightest to the heaviest and most severe. We don't try to make them want to live that lifestyle. We want to make them be better, right? We try to help them. As we do therapy, we have talks with them. We try to figure out what's going on because we want them to be better. Listen, having a mental issue, having autism is not bad. It's not a bad thing. You're just different. But why should we not encourage those and then go and encourage someone who thinks they're a different gender than they actually are? Is that not like... Okay. There is an issue with how much this generation gets offended. And we saw that with Tyler Robinson, who shot Charlie Kirk because he called Charlie Kirk a fascist. I mean, this kid, his roommate is trans, right? This generation gets offended so easily that it's insane. You should not get offended if someone calls you the right gender because you want to be something else. You shouldn't be offended. Because here's the thing, they have free speech. They have free speech. Just like you have free speech, you can say all you want, that you're a furry, I'm a kitty, that's my persona, I'm a kitty. And when they call you a he or she, whatever your real gender may be, they have that freedom, you have your freedom, okay? So, use your freedom, let them use their freedom. Do not hate on them for the freedom they just exercised, which is their First Amendment. They can say whatever on earth they want. You have no right to freak out because of it. You know what? You can just not listen to that. You can just choose to not listen to them, and everyone will be totally fine. But they're speaking the truth, and you don't like the truth, and you have so warped your mind to think that you could be something that you're not. Try to be a better version of you. Try to be a better version of you. Don't try to regress or change who you are. You're being disrespectful to yourself when you do that. Respect yourself. No, I was born this way, and I'm going to be a better me. Don't disrespect yourself by saying I'm something else. You're telling yourself you're not good enough, and you are. You go out there and you prove to the world that you are good enough. And that's not going to happen by you changing your gender or your identity. That's never going to work. That never works. It always fails. Whenever anyone tries to do that or they have gender dysphoria, it's always a crash down in the brain. They get depressed, stressed, they can't do things right. They feel like everyone hates them. It's because you're a little weird when you do that. And you should be less weird and try to be better. And that's what I'm trying to say. And that's what I needed to say that because I was getting to the point where it's like, it's just insane that people would call his rhetoric hate or controversial when he's just going out there and telling the truth how he sees it. I mean, he is up. If you're trans and you wanted to go talk to Charlie Kirk, you could have gone to his rallies. You could have asked him a question, figured out why he believes what he believes. You might have even had your mind changed. You might have come to Christ. You don't know. But shooting him will never be the ultimate solution, and no one should condone what happened on September 10th. No one at all. And if you do, you have issues. You have an issue in your brain because you can't understand empathy, you cannot understand kindness, and you clearly don't understand freedom of speech because violence will never be freedom of speech. Violence is just the most grotesque and immature way of dealing with anything. And so that's why this is why I can't handle when people just call his rhetoric, whatever, controversial, hateful. I just can't handle it. I just can't. I mean, AOC, calls him anti-Semitic. His rhetoric was ignorant and aimed at disenfranchising millions of Americans. It was far from the unity that he claimed he promoted. She also condemned his weaponization of the government's or whoever's weaponization of his murder to attack free speech. And now we come to my next topic because this was super big for me. Jimmy Kimmel canceled, gone. ABC, FCC comes in, they give a warning. ABC indefinitely cancels his show. Lots of people are really happy about this. Lots of people on the right. And now I've got a message for you. Because listen, we cannot just be fine with this. We can't be fine with people just getting canceled. I know they did it to us. I know they did. I'm very, very, very aware that they did that to us. But they can't cancel us because we have a voice everywhere. And we cannot cancel them because they have a voice everywhere. And beyond that, they have their First Amendment, free speech. Now, I totally understand, being infuriated by some of the comments being made, about Charlie Kirk's murder. Totally heartless, idiotic comments. But that doesn't mean you just go canceling everybody. Listen, Kimmel was not funny. I watched him and wanted to cry because it was so sad. It wasn't funny at all. He tried so hard to make jokes, but his 30-year-old tried even harder to write them, and they still didn't work. So, I'm just saying, I understand not liking him because neither did I. But still is not an excuse for canceling him. Um, let them. I mean, if we're gonna cancel him, we might as well just cancel everyone, right? Because we all say stupid stuff all the time. We're human. We're imperfect, and I'm obviously not advocating for anything he says. I mean, dude says so many woke stuff. It's just insane. Some of the garbage he spews. But at the same time, it's still not a reason to cancel, guys. Like, seriously. What happened to freedom of speech? What happened? And you guys are just totally okay with this. No. No, you cannot be just okay with that. He might have said some stupid stuff. But the whole point of free speech is to say whatever on earth we want, and no one really, like, we don't get attacked for saying it. That's the whole point. So we just got mad about Charlie Kirk's assassination because he was using free speech and he got silenced by violence. Well, we don't need to silence other people just because they say stupid stuff. Now, last I heard, I think he was not even, like, making a profit. So I guess this could have been, some pushing, like, on the private side of ABC. But still, the FCC clearly went in there and did put pressure on them. So, not cool. I'm not really happy about it. I mean, it's good that he's not saying what he's saying anymore, or at least on a loudspeaker, but at the same time, I feel like he does have a right to do that because it is a free country, and the First Amendment, he can say what he wants. So, that's my deal. I think just because they canceled us doesn't mean we should cancel them back. You don't respond likewise. If someone slaps you, you don't slap them back. You try to stop them in the most peaceful manner possible. And this actually takes me to, like, the whole idea of peace through strength that Trump has talked about so much. Just have peace through strength. Don't go canceling people. Just make them realize that if I'm saying the wrong thing, then I mean, I need to learn one way or another what's right and what's wrong. But yeah, say whatever you want. It's a free country. No, don't go canceling people just because they did it to us. That's totally hypocritical. We didn't like it when they did it to us, and they don't like it. I know we're divided right now. I know we're so divided right now. You're either left or right, man. You're either left or right. I know we're so divided right now. But genuinely, can we just come together on this? Like, stop with the canceling, guys. Just stop. It's so embarrassing. So embarrassing how babyish we look. We can't take anything we disagree with at all. It's so embarrassing. Just wake up, America. Just wake up. Like, genuinely, people probably don't like what I'm saying. Like, but I can say it. It's America. We're supposed to have that freedom to say whatever we want. When that's taken away, well, then we're in a bad position. We lose free speech. And now the government, basically, whoever they want to be the loud voice will be the loud voice. And that's not how it works. Rhetoric, hateful or not, you can say whatever you want. Like, and then that's where it stops, because once you start inciting violence, that's when you stop. Free speech does not entail physical violence. So, yes, once it hits physical violence, you may respond. But as long as it's free speech, I know it's hard for you to hear. I know it's hard. It was hard for me to understand. It was hard for me to swallow this pill. Because, hey, here's the fact. People say stuff that we don't like all the time. Like, really bad. But we don't just go silencing them because we don't like what they say. That'll make us fall into, like, the way the UK or Germany is right now, where you can go to jail just for saying things. It's insane. No, guys, we're America. Come on, we can be better than this. And I know we can. Guys, while we're on Kirk, his whole assassination, Erika Kirk is the new Turning Point USA CEO. She was unanimously voted in. And it is said that she is more right than her husband, so the left beware, because she's got conviction. I will tell you what, I listened to her address to the nation. I've just listened to her talk about Charlie and the way she posts. She has so much discernment. Just an amazing person, and so brave, so courageous. At such a tough point in her life, just had her husband taken from her, and the way she's responded, I have so much respect. I have so much respect for her. I think it's so awesome to see this, right now, and I'm excited. I think she has awesome skills, and I can't wait to see what she does with them. And she's just giving it all to Lord, which just makes it work so much better. It's so amazing. I'm so happy. It's so awesome. So awesome. But kind of now shifting, because we've talked about the Charlie Kirk assassination, right? We've talked about cancel culture. We've talked about the Arctic frost. But now I'm going to bring up a name you remember. I know you do. I know you remember this name, because it has been around before. At one point, for 107 days, you heard this name a lot. Hopefully I say this right, so I'm not a racist, because you gotta get the pronunciation right, you're a racist. Kamala Harris. Okay. Yeah, she is still around. And Tim Walz is not really around anymore. I mean, he probably like sailed to Mexico, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he probably thought so. Whatever the case may be. I know. I saw him the other day holding a rally, whatever. But I mean, it was nice. It would be nice if he sailed away, but anyhow. Kamala Harris is still around, writing a book. And she talks about the moment she went on The View. I remember watching this, actually. I am not a fan of The View, as I have expressed, but free speech. So, here we are. But Kamala Harris said, and I quote, she pulled the grenade pin, and she didn't even realize it. Apparently, so while she was on there, she was asked the question, do you think that or what is it that will be different from your administration compared to Biden's? What are some differences in between you two? She goes on to state, I want to do my imitation of her so bad, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let you guys live in peace. But she talked about just living like she lived with like a second mom who lived down the street apparently. I know it sounds like a Joe Biden story, but like bear with me for a second. She walked down the street sometimes to visit this second mother. The second mother was like a small town or like a small business owner, so she has a very special place in her heart for small businesses. And here's the thing with Kamala, it's weird because I think she genuinely wants to do good in her heart. Like in her heart, she genuinely wants the country to do well. Well, I mean, it's kind of sad. It's funny, but in a very sad way. And she's just so, it's like she wants to do good, but she's not. Clearly not. None of her beliefs, if she had principles, they would probably not be good. If she had policies, they probably wouldn't be good either. She just doesn't believe in good things. So it's kind of funny in the saddest sort of way, but she said she would have chosen Pete Buttigieg to run as her VP. And then she ended up choosing, last minute Tim Walz, which she says partially sunk her boat. And then the other thing that sunk her boat was when The View asked her, what would you do differently in your administration? She said, well, me and Biden are pretty alike. I mean, most of the decisions he made, I was right there making them with him. And she said that's what lost her it, because she's so, likened herself unto Biden. And turns out nobody wanted Biden. So they don't want you. And I was actually, wow, that's actually like a really good takeaway. That's a really good takeaway. But she's not running for governor of California, so nobody worry. Well, actually, California should be worried. But, I mean, they should have been worried for a long time. They've been sinking their ship for a super long time. But my point is, she's fading off the political scene. We'll see if we see her again someday. But her book is coming out. If you want to, buy it just to have, a great comedy routine, that would be fine. But yeah, that's basically where she's at right now. It's interesting, but whatever. But yeah, use the term pulling the grenade pin, which I think is actually really awesome. I think that's a pretty good way of putting it, because it really blew up on her. Election was nice. Okay, can I just say that is really it for today. Just remembering that you can do nothing you can do nothing better than taking it to the table, talking it out with the people you don't agree with. You can do nothing better than that. The worst you can do is if you start using violence instead of free speech, and then you have really crossed the line in a really bad way. I will keep you all updated on this whole Arctic kind of like Arctic frost whole ordeal, because that's interesting to me. But yeah, it's been really great. These are the first 10 episodes, so that's really awesome. I would love it if y'all subscribed. You start sharing it. Comment down below if there's a topic you want me to talk about, if there's something you want me to read, anything. Just let me know, and I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I've even thought about answering comments. I have a few in mind, but like, I just don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future of this channel, how the Lord leads. But thank you all so much for coming along for the short ride that it's been so far, and I will see you all in the next one. God bless.